podcast with Robert Ross.
Hello, chums. We're back. Robert Ross, Britain's comedy historian, with not Gemma Fanning anymore, but Gemma Ross.
Hello, Robert. Welcome.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if you've seen, we're now fresh on iTunes, is that right?
Yes.
Thank you, Gemma. And we've dug out the vaults from those dark days of the pandemic when we did 4 of my comedy heroes, which are up there now for you to see below this. Peter Sellers, Frankie Howard, Hattie Jakes and Marty Feldman. Mm-hmm. And the idea is that we're going to do one of these every so often as a sort of comedy roundup. This year, again, comedy is the answer. And we'll add to the comedy greats selection and whatever you want, really.
So do let us know. Please comment, like, subscribe. If there's anyone you want me to interview Robert about, be it, I don't know, Sid James or whoever.
I'll do anybody. We've got a long list of people that I want to talk about. You try and shut me up. Talking of that, we'll also use this as a little extra platform. Please spread the word to your comedy chums that Robert Ross, comedy historian, is obviously on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. My website's there. You can buy books and my plays on CD. I'm doing regular magazine work at the moment, so look out for Best of British and Yours Retro and the Infinity magazine and its sister publication, The Dark Side. I'm very excited about being in The Dark Side. So yeah, at the moment, as this is current, this is end of August 2022. I've got an article about Abbott Costello meet Frankenstein in the current issue of The Dark Side. Very thrilled about that. And also we've got a show coming up.
We've got several shows coming up.
Tell them about the shows.
Okay, so the first show we've got coming up is actually on September 10th. And we will be at the Chizik Book Festival, and Robert will be on stage with our good friend Caroline Frost, talking all things Carry On.
Well, that's a change you've seen for me. That would be exciting. That's lovely. That's Caroline's book called Carry On Regardless, Getting to the Bottom of Britain's favourite comedy series. We're talking about all things Carry On, as Gemma said. And also, Caroline is part of Right On Comedy, which is a new thing we started early this year, gathering brilliant writers and illustrators and performers, anybody involved with comedy, even comedy people who write serious books, like our good friend Linda Regan, beloved from Heidi High as April. She writes brilliant crime thrillers. She's part of Right On Comedy. So check out Right On Comedy. You've got the links on all my social media, and join the fun there. That's getting bigger and better as we speak.
And also we have our show, which is an exclusive to the Watford Fringe, which will be on Saturday the 1st of October. I think it's about 3 p.m.
Yes.
If I've got that correct. And I will be grilling Robert on his career. So the title of the show is It's a Funny Way to Make a Living. And my goodness, it is a funny way to make a living. And so we'll be there live on stage. Tickets are now on sale. Again, visit all our websites to find out how you can get tickets. Do support the Watford Fringe. They are a fantastic fringe organisation. They are very new to doing fringe festivals.
Lots of good comedians and performers doing their shows, so check out their website. But yeah, we're doing a nice 3 o'clock matinee, so you can come along and get a bit of a pub lunch afterwards. And I sort of had to stifle a laugh when Gemma said my career, but yeah, it is my career. I've been doing this for 25 years or something now. So the show is basically, it's an impromptu, like we used to do on the lockdown book clubs on Tuesday nights, if you remember those. It's similar sort of thing to that, but Gemma will be asking me about loads of people I've met and the work I've done. So you'll probably be hearing tales of, I don't know, Norman Wisdom and Rick Mayall and the Monty Python boys and all sorts of comedy royalty like that. So that's going to be a great hoot to do.
And then, if that wasn't enough, we've got 2 more shows coming up. We've got one in November at the Cinema Museum. Again, please support this venue. They can only run on the basis of selling tickets. We must preserve the Cinema Museum. And again, it will be a carry-on day. And who's going to be there, Robert?
Gosh, I'm getting exhausted just thinking of the shows coming up. Yes, so this is November 26th, the second carry-on up the Cinema Museum. We have the gorgeous Jackie Piper and her star-crossed lover from both Carry On Loving and Carry On at Your Convenience. Mr. Richard O'Callaghan will be with us. We have Hugh Futcher, brilliant character actor whose amazing career goes back many, many years. I'll be talking to Hugh about not just his Carry On work, but everything. Chips with Everything, Doctor Who, he was in loads of things. So worked with Roman Polanski, an amazing career. So I'll be chatting to one of our finest character actors, Hugh Futcher. We have Madeline Smith back again, who I'll be talking about something else, which is a surprise. Lots of surprises at our Carry On days, as you all know if you came to the very first one. We have the brilliant author Adam Endicott, who I'll be talking with about the legend that is Kenneth Williams. We all love Kenneth Williams, and Adam's written 2 brilliant books about Kenneth. One, an exhaustive career history, and one a sort of a Kenneth Williams scrapbook, wonderful sort of ephemera and postcards and photographs of Kenneth's long career. So we'll be talking about Kenneth with Adam Endicott, and that's going to be great fun. I think that's going to be signings and meet and greets and just celebrating the carry-ons in a very relaxed, informal way for a whole day. I think is that midday we start?
Midday till 5, 6 o'clock, whenever they kick us out. The doors will be locked.
We were there a long time last time. We were the last stragglers. I think me, yourself, Gemma, and Maddie Smith, and a couple of fans just chewing the cud in a very relaxed way. It's that sort of show. They're wonderful, just sort of fun gatherings to salute the legends of Carry On.
And then if that wasn't enough, to round off the year, it's going to be on the 17th of December. The links haven't gone up yet because we are back at the Watford Pump House. Obviously, they're very tied up at the moment with the Fringe, but as soon as the Fringe is over, the link will be available and you can start booking tickets. But we will have a sitcom day.
Yes.
And who's going to be at the sitcom day?
Are we allowed to mention who's there? Oh gosh, this is very exciting. Well, yes, who have we got there? We've got a couple of my good pals from Mind Your Language, Miss Françoise Pascal and George Camilla, Gemma's favourites. We've got the legend that is Brian Murphy and the aforementioned Linda Regan, his good lady wife, will be there. We have we have a couple of chums from Please Sir as well, David Barry and Penny Spencer making a rare public appearance, and there might be a surprise or two there as well. But that's going to be another full day of comedy just before Christmas, so you might be able to get some signed goodies for your comedy loved ones for their Christmas stocking. What else is going on? What we might do for this, we might do a roundup every so often, and I should mention, if this does go out in time, I'm assured by Gemma, my supreme technician here, it will be out in time. This coming Saturday, I may be on television again. Oh no, Channel 5, the home of Robert Ross and Roy Gould, our good pal. We've been alternating on various celebrations of classic film and TV the last few months. I was in a celebration of Are You Being Served and The Good Life, and one other one, Steptoe and Son, and Roy was in The Top of the Pops and LOLO, and one other, I think. Anyway, but I'm back on, hopefully, I was filmed for it, and I hope I'm in it, a celebration, a brand new 90-minute documentary about the legend that is Sid James, called Sid James Comedy Icon, which is at 8 p.m. on Saturday the 3rd of September on Channel 5. So look out for that.
Right, that's all the plugging. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit more. Obviously, you've already mentioned it, but we have founded something called Right On Comedy. And you can visit that by visiting www.rightoncomedy.co.uk. You'll see we've got over 60 established authors now part of the association. But this is something that is very, very close to Robert's heart, and it's a new venture for you and for me. Our co-chair is the gorgeous Jessica Martin. Why did you get this set up?
Wow, my gosh. Well, it was sort of a brainchild of both of ours, really, wasn't it? I think it's a funny business. It's a funny business in a not a funny way. Publishing, it can be full of pitfalls, and I was very keen to gather a load of people who are so experienced and so established in their particular fields of expertise, be it poetry or illustration, or stand-up comedy, or young adult fiction, or biography, whatever it is. We cover all the bases, and the plan is to have all these people in one-stop shop that you can see what their latest work is. We'll alert you about when they're doing personal appearances. We had our own launch party at the gorgeous Museum of Comedy in Bloomsbury. The idea is to have a sort of regular get together of all our members, or as many members as we can get together in one particular place, in order to support and encourage new talent, really. So it's hopefully going to be a sort of a flesh pot of geniuses that people can refer to and ask questions of, and just find out tips how to get published, how to get your foot in the door of a comedy club, to get your sort of 2 minutes on stage. All of those sort of issues we're going to tackle in a friendly, encouraging, non-aggressive way. Just spread the laughter. And I just thought it'd be a nice way of giving something back, really, because I've been very fortunate the last 25 years to make my living and pay my mortgage by writing about comedians and touring the country and doing cruises and all that. So yeah, it was that, really. It's great fun, and it's getting bigger all the time, Mrs. I'm amazed at the caliber of people we have on our books. I'm thrilled they're all willing to support it, really.
That's fantastic. And this is also an ideal platform where we're hoping to be able to interview some of those authors. Robert will do the interview with the authors, and they can tell you about their careers in comedy and their writing careers, how they got into writing, etc. So
I might just hand over to Gemma to do some of those at some point, because she's so good at interviewing me. So you never know. But anyway, yes.
So we've got some great celebrations coming up on this podcast. But do drop us a message. Let us know what you want to hear. Whether it's me interviewing Robert interviewing someone else, we are open to suggestions. And
we will be back on a regular basis now. Those 4 that are stood there at the moment from the series 1, those comedy greats, they were recorded in 1920. Not that long ago, 2020. So 2 years ago, back in the dark days of the pandemic. But we'll be adding to that, and we're popping in here every so often to keep you abreast of the comedy developments and what we're doing. And you can, of course, subscribe to the monthly newsletter, which is lots of fun. There's recommended to buy, recommended to watch, all sorts of fun, free comedy on the newsletter. So that's there to download and enjoy every month. Hopefully, if I get my finger out, you'll get one out tomorrow. It's for the start of September. But yes, it's all comedy is the answer, as always, here.
Now, Robert, I'm very conscious we are at back to school period time of the year.
I'm so sorry.
How was your summer? What were your highlights?
My summer was amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, we had our first wedding anniversary. We went up to Huddersfield. No, we didn't. Well, Huddersfield. We went to Harrogate, not Huddersfield, Harrogate. So I knew it began with H. Happy Harrogate.
So good, you can't remember.
So I know. That's my major thing. No, we stayed at a lovely hotel, the Old Swan Hotel, where Agatha Christie did her disappearing act back in 1926. In Harrogate, it was. I'm sorry for the people of Harrogate we met up there, who were lovely, and we had a gorgeous time. I suppose in terms of comedy, the best time was a rather liquid lunch with Freddie Davis and Tommy Cannon up there, wasn't it, at the hotel? So that was a joy. Both members of Right On Comedy, both Variety Gold, so that was a lot of hoot with their lovely wives, Lisa and Hazel. So and it was just great. I mean, I'm back to work. So schools begin again this week. I am back to work, writing feverishly. I'm writing loads of articles for the aforementioned magazines. I'm also starting work on a new book, Hush Hush.
Hush Hush.
Wink Wink. I will announce that as and when I'm allowed to, but that's very exciting. What can I say about that? Nothing.
Nothing.
No,
Hold
okay.
it.
It's about a comedian. How's that?
And another, I think, summer highlight of ours was we were in July, at the start of the summer, we were with Jeffrey Holland, Heidi High.
Howdy ho, indeed.
Up in Birmingham and then London.
God, that seems ages ago. That was the summer holiday, wasn't it? Yes, we were. We were doing Comedy Friends and Comedy Heroes with Jeff Holland. That was a brilliant fun. I hope you got to see that. If you didn't get to see that, we are doing another show of that soon. Information to come, but yes, we'll resurrect that show. That's lots of fun. That's Jeff reminiscing about Heidi High, Hody Ho, and Uranma Lord and all his other brilliant work. Alongside obviously talking about his solo show dedicated to Stan Laurel and his comedy heroes, who were Laurel and Hardy and Marty Feldman and Jimmy Jewell and Ben Warris and Buster Keaton and loads of other great people. So we have a good. It's a good show. It's a long show.
It's a long show, but it's a good show.
It comes with liquid refreshment in between. There's two halves to it, but we just can't stop. When me and Jeff start talking about our comedy friends and comedy heroes, we just go on and on and on. It's funny though, isn't it? I hope it's funny.
Yeah,
It's so good.
yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And then of course we've got Forgotten Heroes is still out in the wild. Finally,
Forgotten Heroes of Comedy, my Magnus Octopus. Yes.
Now, can I ask you, is your second book, the one you're currently writing, is that Forgotten Heroes 2?
I am writing Forgotten Heroes of 2, but that is not the one. That's slightly, forgive me, it's on the back burner. Forgotten Heroes. I mentioned, yes, I have written quite a lot of Forgotten Heroes of Comedy Volume 2 already. But as always, I'm always spinning loads of plates. I've actually got about 3 or 4 books on the go, but one I've actually been commissioned to write. So I've actually been paid for this, so I've got to get down and write that one, which I'm looking forward to doing. But that gets priority. Obviously, folks, paid work gets priority here, but I will, in my spare time, which is not very much at the moment, I will add some more entries to Forgotten Heroes of Comedy Volume 2, which is getting bigger and bigger by the minute. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm loving it. I mean, it's Gem's going to be talking to me at the Watford Fringe on October the 1st about all this comedy work, and I've not stopped in 25 years, and I'm still loving every second of it. I can't wait to get back to it, really.
Well, I've had 2 comedy, one was a discovery, the other wasn't a discovery because we were already watching, but my 2 comedy highlights this summer were Only Murders in the Building.
Brilliant.
Which I think we should talk about.
Yeah, well, let's do that now, because that's gorgeous, obviously.
Steve Martin and Martin Short with Selena Gomez. If you haven't seen the first series, do check it out. They have just finished season 2. It is based in an apartment block in New York City where they are trying to work out a murder.
Basically, and it's all based, surprise, this is why Gemma sort of prodded me back into doing these. It's all based around a podcast, because podcasts are even bigger in America than in England, apparently. But this is brilliant. I mean, and 2 performers like Steve Martin and Martin Short, who have worked together for so long and are just obviously so close as friends and close as comedy performers. It's just a hoot. I love it. So yeah, we wrapped up season 2 with an amazing cliffhanger for season 3. No spoilers, but there's a season 3 commissioned, isn't it?
I think so. I believe so.
Well, it certainly looks like it's supposed to be a 3rd season at the end of the episode, the last episode of season 2. So that's a record. And that's on Disney Plus, isn't it?
It's on Disney Plus, so you do need a subscription, but honestly, worth it, even if you get your free trial and just binge it for a week.
And you can binge The Beatles Get Back as well, of course, on Disney Plus, which is why I wanted
Disney Plus. But isn't it refreshing to see some modern comedy?
Well, yes, I love modern comedy. I'm not one of those old fogies that thinks it all ended in 1976, But no, I love to watch a couple of old veteran comics, to be fair, in a new show. But even so, it's it's great fun.
And then my comedy discovery this summer was the Booze Cruise.
Oh.
Who remembers the Booze Cruise?
Me.
Now, this was recommended to me, by our dear friend, and I hope you're listening, Mr. Roy Gould, who was the producer of this.
A legend in his own lunchtime. No,
he is a legend. And what a pleasant surprise. Now, for some reason, I must have missed this when it went out, in the early noughties?
Yeah, 2003, I think the first one was. So the Booze Cruise, and it's brilliant. My pals, Neil Pearson and Brian Murphy, are in it, alongside some other wonderful performers like Martin Clunes and Mark Benton, Claire Sweeney, great cast, Anne Reid. But yeah, so that the first one was, I think I'm right in saying, Roy will correct me, but for 2 or 3 years it was ITV's biggest rating as a single comedy drama. It's a 2-hour feature-length comedy drama, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Brian Leveson and Paul Minette, who wrote the script, who wrote Frankie Howard's Last Up Pompeii, so they get that sort of classic 70s sort of knockabout comedy that we did so well in those days, and it's hilarious. And then the collection that you picked up had the other two as well. Now, as far as I must have seen these when they went out, but it's in a sort of blur. But they were all three films are absolute belters. So,
no, absolute joy. And all I can say is Brian Murphy in a skirt. What more do you need of an evening? That's all I'm saying. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, go on Amazon. It's really cheap to get the box set. Really fun 3 nights we had there.
We did. Next time we see Brian and Linda, we'll have to ask Brian to wear the skirt. And
as much as we celebrate old comedy, it is lovely to discover some of these more modern, well, I say more modern,
20 years ago. Yeah.
But to find these things.
Bearing in mind that I've been watching Harry Langdon shorts from 1928, then 2003 is definitely new, isn't it?
Is that your summer watch? What's been your summer watch? Your highlight?
What have I enjoyed? Oh, I tell you what I have enjoyed rewatching, because another one of our gorgeous members of Right On Comedy is Robert Gillespie, who you'll remember from loads of sitcom appearances in The Good Life and Whatever Happened to the Likely Lads and Up Pompeii and loads of other shows, George and Mildred. Robert Gillespie has written his 2 volumes of memoirs, Are You Going to Do That Little Jump?, which is about his 70-year career as an actor, writer, producer, an all-round brilliant theatre man and TV man. I rewatched his sitcom, Keep It in the Family, which I don't think I've seen since it probably went out in the 80s. So I enjoyed that. That was a little bit. Although I've not been watching much telly. I've been watching telly with you, really.
I know.
Occasionally, when Jimmy's not there, I watch my really, 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 really old comedy from the 20s. But other than that, we watch it together, don't we? Because that's a sort of happy marriage we have. it's basically built on 70s sitcoms. There you go.
And jigsaw puzzles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah. And what's been your highlight of reading?
Oh my gosh. Well, again, I've been sort of ploughing through our wonderful pile of Right On Comedy contributors, members, and their latest work. So I've read Tony Nicholson's. It's funny, but it's also quite chilling. It's a political sort of thriller, really, or sort of I don't know, sort of prediction of the future. It's quite scary how real a lot of it is, with having lived through Johnson and Trump the last few years. But that's called A New Messiah, which is a very showbizy but very political thriller sort of novel, which is recommended. So I've read that. I read David Barry, our good friend David Barry's brilliant book about when he toured with Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh in Titus Andronicus, the Shakespeare tragedy, when David was a very young lad, 12, 13 years old, I believe. So that's an amazing, and I did phone David a few days ago to say how impressed I was by it. And honestly, believe me, if you love theatre and love sort of the behind-the-scenes magic of creating a show, this book is for you. It's called The Final Curtain by David Barry, and it looks at the last work of Olivier and Vivien Leigh together. It's a very, very important book on theatre. So that's that. And you've been reading one of David's books.
I have. I've been reading his Tales of Soho, which is fantastic. If you like little short stories, they're very, very interesting stories. There's lots of references to Soho life. So if you're from London, or you miss London, or you want to learn about London, it's a great reference guide in terms of the locations and the times that it was set, between 60s, 70s. Some are in the modern day or go up to modern day, but they are... It reminds me very much of the Tales of the Unexpected. There's a beautiful twist at the end of each story, and they've just been a joy to read over the summer. Albeit a dark joy, but they have been a joy. So
and there's a little guide, I believe, knowing David as I do, there's a little guide to Soho pubs as well, isn't there?
There is indeed.
Good, excellent. Because I've been in a few Soho pubs with David over the years, so that's always nice. So I've not read that yet, but I'm gonna, once Gem's finished, I think you've got one more story to go. Mm-hmm. I shall pinch that off you and read that myself. So looking forward to that.
So thank you for listening to our podcast, and welcome to the new and reformed podcast. There is going to be much more content coming now in the coming months. We're going to at least try one a month. If we can get into even better, we'll just do this as and when, and of course we'll alert you. Do subscribe to our newsletter. You can do so by visiting www.robertross.co.uk, and we hope to see you soon.
And please do spread the comedy historian word. There's loads of fun and laughter to come. So yes, thank you, Gemma. We shall carry on as if nothing has happened. Here we go. Let's go. Okay. See you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.